Damn, 14 days later, baby, or something like that. All right, so obviously there's been a large gap in my posting schedule, and there is a good reason for that. We're gonna go over that today, but first, before we do any of that, I wanna get you caught up on where we're at currently with this build and what's been happening with it, because honestly, we're pretty close. All right, so update on where we're at. We've got pretty much everything on. So we've got the intercooler on, everything is mounted, the hoses are mounted. We've got the turbo on, which looks freaking sick. We've got the intake. Well, we'll get into that later. We've got all the intercooler piping. We've got all the radiator hoses down here that you can't, it's impossible to see, but it's all good, it's on. We've got a beat up valve cover here because getting the stock exhaust out, I didn't even realize I was like absolutely clapping the valve cover, so that's great. We've got some of these PCV lines or whatever these are that need a check valve in them that are not on yet because again, can't find any of those, so we'll get to that in a second. Got another one that needs to go in over here that we don't have either. You can't see, but obviously in the last video you saw us put the injectors in. They're 630cc flow force injectors, so those are sick. Those are in the manifold. So pretty much everything's like installed. Like all the big pieces are in, like I said, turbo, injectors, all the piping, intercooler is in, like everything is in. If this car wasn't on jack stands and I just opened the hood, you'd be like, oh, it's a running car, dude. Well, let me show you why it's not and the problems we've been facing getting to this point. So basically I bought this kit new used, meaning I bought the kit from a third-party person that had purchased it from Flying Miata that was unopened, apparently, right? So I was all stoked. I got a great deal on it, I thought, and everything came. I looked at the packaging, I looked at all the stuff in there, obviously not knowing what was supposed to be there and what wasn't, and everything looked like it was there. Like, you know, all the big pieces were there. That being said, I actually had to send back the turbo to the guy because it didn't fit. So I actually bought a new turbo from Flying Miata and a wastegate. So that's step one of taking an L, right? But when I started installing the stuff after I got the turbo, I was like, oh, dude, there's a lot of stuff missing, right? So let's go over the list of what was missing from this thing, because again, like I said, it looks pretty complete. So to start off, basically every single nut and bolt that was supposed to come with the kit to replace all the stock parts, oops, right? Wasn't there. All the check valves, which I was talking about with this hose, did not come with the kit. There's a timing wheel that was supposed to be included with the kit that also did not come with the kit. See that intake? That's nice and exposed, right? Oops, it's not supposed to. There's supposed to be a box that goes around this that holds, first of all, your intake air temperature sensor, which I don't have that. Also, holds all of your sensors. I don't have that. This was not there, as well as this, as well as the tap to actually tap this oil pan. None of that was there, dude. I'm not gonna go over every single nut and bolt that was missing because it's literally impossible to. Like, the amount of hardware store runs and auto parts stores that I've gone to in the last like 2 weeks has just been absolutely immaculate. Aside from that, I don't have, oh my God, it's so bright. Aside from that, I don't have the correct tools to even begin this process. So I've been borrowing tools from buddies, and there's a lot of kit specific tools that were supposed to come with this kit so you could install things, right? Like there's a lot of weird sizes that people just don't really sell at normal stores anywhere in the country. On top of that, this car is now 23 years old, and boy does it act like it. Most of the bolts on this thing were pretty rusted in, and that's fine, but getting those off, had a few snaps as you guys saw, so that's been happening pretty consistently. Thankfully, I did pick up all the bolts that I've picked up one at a time, one day at a time, because I never know what's happening next and what I'm missing. So they've all been replaced for the most part, which is great. And now next time I need to take anything off, it shouldn't be that hard to get off, which is gonna be great, because guess what? I'm sure I'm gonna need to take it apart again. So I had to go to auto parts stores, multiple of them, each day of the week, and find these things. So it's pretty cool. I've been having a very stressful time. This is really rough. I've been doing this by myself for the past 2 weeks. Obviously, my friends can't be around to help me all the time because they have jobs, which is fine. But I'm the least experienced mechanic on the face of the earth at this point. So I've got, like I said, pretty much everything on, but now it's just a matter of sourcing parts that I'm missing from Flying Miata because stores don't sell them. And guess what? Flying Miata is out of a lot of their stuff because they haven't been selling these kits on retail for God knows how long because they've been out of stock, right? Oh, another thing. This is where the blow-off valve is supposed to go. So I have the blow-off valve, but it's not the right one. Oops, again, dude. So yeah, that's where we're at with this thing. Just wanted to give you guys a super quick update on why I haven't been posting, because honestly, most of my time has just been spent running back and forth to like auto parts stores. Like, I'm not even kidding you. and it's getting ridiculous. But this thing ideally should be done in the next week, I hope. Here's my little setup right now. Right now we're working on all the timing stuff, so I just got the belts off. I put the new wheel in that Flying Miata sent me. Thank God they actually had it in stock. This is the stock one, but I put a new one in that essentially lets you retard the timing by 16 degrees, so you know you can run properly. Here is a small piece of 5/8 hose that I've picked up out of like 3 feet that was missing, which is great. Tequila Paloma. But yeah, turbo's on, wastegate's on, manifold's on, intercooler's on, piping is on. Now it's just, all we've got to do is set the timing, which is why, again, all these belts are off. You got to set the timing. Got to do the ECU, which is, I'll show that to you. So I've got a Speedify ECU. It's a plug and play right here, as you can see. So supposedly speaking, this would just plug into the stock ECU that's under here, which I haven't even taken it apart. But there's a stock ECU under the steering wheel, obviously, and the Flying Miata one comes with a voodoo kit, it's what they call it, and you have to like crimp wires and all the stuff, which thank God, I'm pretty sure I don't have to do that, but guess what, baby? At this point, the Speedify could be worse. Like, I really don't know. Everything that I do, that I look at on these tutorials, which, first of all, thank God there's a tutorial, right? I would never have attempted this if there wasn't like a full tutorial on this kit on YouTube. But everything I do, it seems like I'm either missing something or something strips or something breaks. And this is like a common problem with like people that are working on cars, obviously. This is not like a, oh, whoa, you're all alone. Like, I understand that, but that's why this is taking so long. I'm not TJ Hunt, I'm not Throttle, I don't have a team. Your boy's building it by himself. But the cool part is that when it's done, it's gonna be that much more cool to drive. It's just gonna be that much sweeter. I'm gonna taste it on my lips. But yeah, that's the update. I just wanted to let you guys know I'm still here. I still exist. My lack of content has been, again, just because I've been literally running back and forth to auto parts stores like constantly and just really not getting anywhere. Each thing I do like one thing a day, and it's a very small thing. And it's like, you know, I don't want to make a whole 10-minute video of me putting on a radiator hose. It's just, you know, I don't feel like that's worth it for you guys. So anyways, if you guys want to see more constant updates, follow my Instagram. It's Griffin Blanchard YT. I'll link it right here. And if I don't, which I probably won't because I always forget, just look it up, Griffin Blanchard YT. But there's some more updates on there. And you know, if you guys want to check it out, more than welcome to. If not, then wait around for the next video, which should be pretty soon because most of the parts that I ordered from Flying Miata that they do have should arrive this week. So we'll get the intake on, we'll get the timing all figured out, we'll get the blow-off valve figured out, and then the ECU. And then I think it's time for the first start, honestly. So stick around for that. I will see you guys very, very soon, I hope. And hopefully the first start of this thing is gonna be next video, but you never know. That's the fun part of building the car, baby, but makes it that much more sweeter when it will turn on. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.